At 11:11 a.m. on June 17th, Archangel Michael showed me a truth no one expected. At exactly 11:11 a.m. on June 17th, the veil between heaven and earth trembled. It did not shake by accident, and it did not open for many. This was no ordinary moment. This was not one of man's making. No, this was divine interruption. The heavens broke their own rhythm. Protocol was pierced. In a moment not written in any calendar of man, eternity whispered into time, and what was hidden for ages was shown with piercing clarity. The air shifted. The silence roared. Time froze. And through that rupture in reality, Archangel Michael descended, not with trumpet nor sword, but with a message so precise, so soul-cutting, that no heart unprepared could bear to hold it. This was not a message for the masses. It was not for the distracted, the disconnected, or the spiritually deaf. No, this word came with divine filtration. It would only reach those with still spirits, open ears, and obedient hearts. And when he came, it was not with comfort, but with confrontation. His presence was not soft, it was weighty, heavenly, unshakable, as if time itself bowed in reverence to what he carried, and the truth he brought. It was a truth no soul anticipated, a truth hidden beneath layers of misunderstanding, delay, and spiritual warfare, a truth wrapped in mystery and sealed in fire. But listen carefully, this message, this moment, this move is sealed with time. It is bound to a window that will not remain open. It is locked within a divine hourglass that has already begun to empty. The sands are shifting. The countdown has commenced. And if you are not still enough, not surrendered enough, not spiritually sensitive enough, you will miss it. And to miss it is to delay what heaven has tried to deliver to you again and again and again. Michael's message isn't for everyone. It's the first thing you must know. This isn't a viral word for wandering ears. It's a divine dispatch, a sacred bulletin sent only to the soul that has been chosen for this hour. You are not hearing this because you clicked something. You are not listening because of curiosity. You are here because heaven summoned you. You are here because a spiritual call went out, and your spirit responded before your mind understood. So be still now, not just with your body, but with your soul. Lay down the panic, quiet the fear, silence the noise. You must hear this the way it was given, clean, undistorted, and with reverence. The truth is time-sensitive. It is spiritually sealed. And it comes now with holy fire, with kingdom keys, and with a divine alarm. What you are about to hear will shift everything, if you dare to receive it. Type "I am ready" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is now surrounding you. Hear me. This message carries holy weight. It is not light. It is not fleeting. It did not fall from the sky like idle rain. Lo, it thundered from the throne room itself. It was not whispered by men but commanded by the mouth of fire, declared by the voice that has struck down armies and silenced principalities. What you are about to receive was ushered by the wings of heaven's general, Archangel Michael himself. He did not come to ask. He did not come to debate. He came with a command, with a cry that cracked through time and woke the remnant. And what did he say? He said, "Tell them now. Not tomorrow. Not next season. Not when they feel ready. Now, you, beloved listener, have stumbled into a moment that was written before your birth, carved into the eternal blueprint of heaven. The moment your eyes meet this word, your soul is being positioned to either unlock or delay your next dimension. This is no ordinary message. It is an assignment. A sacred unveiling that is wrapped in urgency, drenched in holy timing, and guarded by angels. Before the clock resets, he said, "You must hear." The voice of Archangel Michael pierced through dimensions, bypassed man's systems, and landed here, wherever here is for you. Whether in your room, your car, your secret place, your wandering thoughts, he found you. Not because you are perfect, not because you've always gotten it right, but because you were chosen. Because your name is known in the heavenlies. Because your story carries divine echoes. Because your life has been marked for something beyond what you've dared to imagine. But hear this clearly. Heaven will only whisper this once. This kind of truth does not echo forever. It arrives once, and it demands a response. If you ignore it, you will feel the void. If you reject it, delay will wrap itself around your feet like chains. But if you receive it, fully, fearlessly, faithfully, then what has been stagnant will shake, what has been hidden will rise, and what has been delayed will be released like floodwaters held behind an invisible dam. And I must warn you, this message is not for everyone. No, it was never meant to be. It will sound strange to those whose ears are dull. It will seem dramatic to those who are spiritually dead. But to you, the one who hath been feeling the divine discomfort, the one who's been sensing the unrest in your sleep, the one whose heart has been aching without language, you know this is for you. Because something in you has already been awakened. Something in you has been stirring, twisting, groaning. Something in you has known that this season was not normal, that your delay was not natural, that your name has been floating in rooms you've never entered. You've known that something sacred has been circling your life, waiting for your obedience. And now, heaven is pulling the curtain back. And Michael, heaven's sword-bearer, has been sent to your spiritual gate, not to entertain, but to activate. Not to soothe, but to summon. Not to pat you on the back, but to push you into the fire of your divine assignment. You are not here by accident. You are not watching by coincidence. Your soul was selected, not by chance, but by divine choreography. Your very existence is proof that God has plans that hell tried to abort. Your survival, your breath, your resilience, it testifies of battles you never saw but always felt. And now, the enemy knows something you've yet to fully accept. You are rising. You are stepping into a moment that hell has dreaded and heaven has prepared. But if you ignore this word, if you brush it off, if you turn away, if you let your fear win, you will delay your divine shift. This is your crossroads. This is the invisible gate. This is the hour that heaven held open for your arrival. You've cried for clarity. You've begged for purpose. You've fasted for direction. And now the answer has arrived, not in a sermon, not in a dream, but in this sacred announcement, carried on the wind of Michael's voice. So be alert now. Don't rush this moment. Let the words settle in your bones. Let your spirit rise to meet what your mind cannot understand. Because the next few seconds, the next few thoughts, the next few decisions will either birth your breakthrough or bind your blessing. Say yes with your soul. Say yes with your posture. Say yes with your obedience. Say yes, not because you see everything clearly, but because you know in your depths that this is the moment you've been waiting for. Heaven is watching. The Spirit is brooding. The angels are posted. The time is now. And Michael has spoken. Type "I receive this message" in the comments if your spirit recognizes this. Blessing code 444 is now activated. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That ache beneath the surface. That weight behind the smile. that invisible war pressing against your chest when you lie in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering what's wrong, what's shifting, what truth is trying to surface but remains hidden. You've laughed in rooms filled with people, but your spirit whispered, "Something's not right." You've been surrounded by voices, but none of them truly saw you. They heard your words, but ignored your soul. You've been present, yet invisible. Engaged, yet alone. Lately, the world around you hath been strangely silent, but not in a peaceful way. It's been a suspicious kind of quiet. The kind of quiet that makes your spirit stir. The kind of quiet that carries a shadow. The kind of quiet that makes you question if the smiles given to you were genuine, or if behind those teeth were secrets, strategies, and subtle betrayals. And though no one has confessed anything, your spirit has picked up on something they thought they hid well. They smiled, but hid knowledge behind their eyes. There was something there. A flicker, a guardedness, a hesitation. They congratulated you, but their hearts weren't in it. They stood beside you, but their spirit stood at a distance. They pretended to support you, but in the unseen realm, their agreement was laced with envy. Their silence wasn't just exhaustion, it was strategy. Their absence wasn't just busyness, it was spiritual avoidance. You thought it was just you being sensitive, but it wasn't your emotions, it was your discernment. It wasn't paranoia, it was prophetic perception. Your spirit has been warning you long before your mind caught up. They sensed your rise and feared it. They recognized something awakening in you. They sensed your shift before you could articulate it. Something about you has been changing, becoming clearer, stronger, more aligned. And the very ones who once covered you are now questioning if they can contain you. They feel it in their bones. You're about to become someone they can't control. And so, they withhold. They withhold their truth. They withhold their support. They withhold their insight. Some of them have information that could unlock your next step, but they are silent. Because they know once you see clearly, you'll stop leaning on them. Once you realize the full truth, you'll step into your next season, and they won't be able to follow. You've outgrown their comfort zone. Your presence has become a mirror to their stagnation. You feel the emotional disruption because you're standing in between dimensions. You are between the death of old connections and the birth of divine replacements. You're not who you were, and they know it. But you haven't fully stepped into who you're becoming, and that terrifies them. They'd rather keep you uncertain. They'd rather you stay emotionally disoriented, because a disoriented soul is easier to detour. But heaven is calling order out of your confusion. There is something being kept from you, not by God, but by man. And truth, a revelation, a divine insight that, once revealed, will not only bring clarity but ignite courage. Michael came to pull the curtain back because what's being withheld from you is threatening your forward motion. And the danger isn't just in what you don't know, it's in what others know and choose not to tell you. But heaven is intervening now, because God will not let the confusion linger any longer. He is about to disturb every false peace, shake every silent deception, and expose every shadowed motive. This emotional arrest, it's not random. It's not hormonal. It's not seasonal. It's spiritual. Your spirit knows something your mind can't explain. There is a disconnect between your reality and your destiny, and that space between is where the warfare has been most intense. Because clarity is dangerous to the enemy. Once you see the truth, once you discern the deception, you'll step out of confusion and into commissioning. That's why they tried to keep it hidden. That's why they pretended not to know. That's why they kept their mouth shut. But God is not silent. Heaven has seen the games. Heaven has heard the devs they never sin. Heaven has heard the conversations they had about you when you weren't in the room. Heaven knows. And now, heaven is revealing. Michael came because it's time for the mystery to be unsealed. You are about to know something that will shift your direction forever. What truth is being withheld? What decision have they made without telling you? What alliance have they formed in secret? What door have they closed quietly behind your back? These are the questions that have stirred in your soul. And now, the answers are coming. The truth may sting. It may cut. It may require separation. But it will also set you free. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving us super thanks with contributions of up to $10. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more revelations, spiritual insight, and timely messages just like this. Heaven is speaking, and we're here to help you here. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. Listen, this was never just about people. It was never just about emotions. It was never only about a misunderstanding, a silence, or a betrayal. No, child of the Most High, this was spiritual. It was war dressed in the garments of normal life. It was opposition cloaked in routine. What looked like mere conflict with actually a calculated strike. You've been under surveillance, not by man, but by the enemy of your soul. The moment your name was whispered at 11:11 a.m. on June 17th, the war escalated. Why? Because heaven revealed something that hell had tried to delay for years. And now that the veil is lifting, the enemy is panicking. This is not a personal attack. It's a spiritual response to your calling. Hell recognizes you before you recognize yourself. The demons that have been dispatched against you were not sent because you were weak. They came because you are marked. You are oil-drenched, chosen, destined, a carrier of divine blueprints. And every moment of confusion, every ounce of betrayal, every hardship you've walked through lately, it has been retaliation against revelation. The warfare increased because your light intensified. The pressure rose because your name echoed louder in the heavenly courts. Don't misinterpret the chaos. Don't let your heart be deceived by the faces of people. They were only vessels, willing or unwilling participants in a war that wasn't about you, but about what you carry. The conflict wasn't accidental. It was ancestral. It was spiritual. It was generational. You are the first in your bloodline to walk with this level of alignment, this level of clarity, this level of fire. You broke things they never thought would break. You rose above patterns that held others hostage. You prayed when you could have complained. You worshipped while others wept. You obeyed when no one else understood why. And for that, you became a threat. And now, Archangel Michael brings you this divine framing because your pain needs context. Your suffering was not punishment. It was prophecy being fulfilled through fire. The isolation was not rejection. It was redirection. The silence you felt was not abandonment. It was holy preparation. The fire wasn't meant to burn you. It was meant to reveal you. Reveal your roots. Reveal your foundation. Reveal who truly stood with you. Reveal the strength heaven planted in your belly long before you had language for your calling. And listen, heaven saw everything. Heaven saw who smiled but hoped you'd fall. Heaven saw who touched you with tainted hands. Heaven saw who prayed for your delay. Heaven saw who twisted your name in circles of gossip. Heaven saw who applauded you publicly but doubted you privately. And now, heaven is responding, not with vengeance but with vindication. Not with wrath but with revelation. Because this is not just about your peace, it's about your positioning. God is not trying to comfort you in this hour. He is trying to commission you. He is not just trying to soothe your heart. He is trying to strengthen your hands for what's coming next. Yet you've been underwhelmed because of what you did wrong. It was because of what you done right. You have obeyed when it cost you everything. You stayed when you wanted to run. You've believed even when the miracles didn't come on schedule. You've kept your spirit clean when you had every right to become bitter. And while the world thought you were being punished, God was building you. While they assumed you were falling apart, heaven was forging a warrior. Michael said, the enemy came for their mind because their mantle was getting heavier. The enemy came for their relationships because their reach was about to expand. The enemy came for their clarity because their voice was about to shake things in the unseen realm. The battles weren't random. They were road markers. Every loss pointed to a promotion. Every delay pointed to a destiny. Every tear you cried was a seed that fell into the soil of the spirit realm. And now, your harvest is responding. But do not think the warfare is over. No, the enemy is not finished, but neither is heaven. You are surrounded. You are shielded. You are seated in heavenly places, and angels are posted around you like flames of fire. What has been trying to stop you is now beneath your feet. But you must see it for what it is. This wasn't about them. This was about your voice in the Spirit, your presence in atmospheres, your name in scrolls written before time began. That's why the resistance came. That's why the attacks felt so intense. That's why the spiritual fatigue has been real. Because you are not just walking through a tough season. You are being moved through a divine filter, a consecration of identity. This is spiritual warfare, but you are not losing. You are being launched. Now, rise with the understanding that you are not broken, you are becoming. Rise with the realization that the ones who turned against you were part of the pruning. Rise with the assurance that heaven is not confused. God knows exactly what He's doing with you, and Archangel Michael has declared, you are now entering a protected season. But do not mistake protection for passivity. You must be alert. You must be armed. You must be aware. This was never just emotional pain. It was spiritual pressure. And from that pressure, purpose is emerging. Your calling is being clarified. Your future is being formed. And the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. The sands are falling faster now. The hourglass is tipping. The stillness you feel in the atmosphere is not peace. It is prophecy waiting to be fulfilled. Heaven has sent a final warning cloak in the voice of urgency. Something is about to shift within 72 hours. You don't have days to delay. You don't have weeks to wander. The divine countdown has begun. And whether you discern it or not, the spiritual clock is ticking loud in the courts of heaven. Archangel Michael, sword drawn and gaze fixed, spoke with fire in his breath. The clock has already started. What you feel pressing on your chest is time. What you feel racing behind your eyes is divine movement. What you feel pulsing in your spirit is urgency from realms beyond this world. Something is being aligned in the shadows. Someone is plotting, repositioning, moving in darkness, behind veils, behind titles, behind grins. This is not paranoia. This is prophecy. Your name is being mentioned in rooms that feel foreign to you but familiar to your destiny. The enemy is whispering, but so is God. Michael said clearly, the enemy is not sleeping, so neither must the chosen. This is not a moment to be casual with your calling. You are being positioned either for elevation or delay. Within 72 hours, a door will creak open. But the question is, will you recognize it? Will your spirit be awake enough to discern it? Because this door will not have a sign. It will not be loud. It will not come wrapped in gold. It will look like interruption. It will sound like inconvenience. But inside it, inside that strange moment, will be the truth that can save your spiritual position. Not your reputation. Not your comfort. Not your emotions. But your spiritual position. Your seat in the divine plan of God. And hear this well. Your position matters in this hour. Because what is coming in the months ahead will require the remnant to be in alignment. There is no more room for spiritual tourists. Heaven is only releasing authority to the anchored. And so the warning comes. Do not assume you have time. Do not mistake stillness for safety. Just because it's quiet doesn't mean the enemy isn't moving. Just because they haven't said it doesn't mean they haven't planned it. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not forming. Someone is plotting. A conversation is about to happen without your name but about your destiny. But what they forget, what they never accounted for, is that heaven has already intercepted it. There's a reason Michael came. Not to comfort, but to warn. Not to pacify, but to alert. There is motion in the spirit realm. Things are being restructured. Hidden hands are being exposed. Secret allegiances are being revealed. And heaven has already sounded the trumpet. Tell them the time is short. Your obedience in the next 72 hours is more critical than you realize. Every action must be intentional. Every prayer must be strategic. Every moment must be measured. There is a shift coming, and it will affect relationships. It will hit touches. It will confront false alignments. People you once leaned on will be removed from your reach. Doors you thought were closed will suddenly demand your presence. And it will all happen so quickly, so unexpectedly, that if your spirit is not tuned to the frequency of heaven, you will miss the whisper. This is not a season of loud announcements. It is a season of holy discernment. Heaven will not shout. It will signal. The spirit will not scream. It will stir. And you must be still enough to notice. Still enough to sense. Still enough to stop when God says wait and move when He says now. Because the enemy is not just trying to distract you. He is trying to derail you. Delay is not just inconvenient in this season. It is dangerous. Michael's vision revealed shadows moving at your back. Conversations are being had that were never meant for your ears. But heaven is bringing divine exposure. Don't be afraid when the revelation comes. Don't tremble when the truth is unearthed. What's coming may shatter your image of people, but it will protect your position with God. You may lose false peace, but you will gain divine clarity. And clarity is your weapon now. This truth, this sacred truth being released, carries weight. It carries urgency. It carries fire. And the moment you receive it, you must act. You must posture yourself in alignment. You must prepare yourself in stillness. Because what is being revealed now is meant to protect what God is building in you. Do not rush into explanations. Do not confront what heaven is already handling. Just listen. Just obey. Just wait. Because this next move, it's not about proving your worth. It's about protecting your mantle. It's about preserving your spiritual seat. And in the next 72 hours, you will be tested, not with temptation, but with timing. You will be offered distractions disguised as opportunities. Be careful. Choose wisely. Move with discernment. This is a sacred window, a divine checkpoint. You are being watched, not just by people, but by principalities. Your obedience in this moment is warfare. Your alignment is armor. And the truth, it is coming, whether you're ready or not. Type "I am watching" and "ready" in the comments if this warning is for you. Blessing code 1717 is now opening your eyes. Still yourself. Now, before you move another step, before another word leaves your mouth, before your mind races to solve what only the Spirit can reveal, be still. The instruction is simple but sacred. Do not move. Be silent. Be still. Not because you are weak. Not because you are passive. Not because you are defeated. But because your silence in this season is strategic. Your stillness is sacred warfare. Your obedience to pause is a signal to heaven that you trust what God is building, even when you don't yet see the blueprints. Archangel Michael stood before me at exactly 11:11 a.m. on June 17th and said, "Tell them not to respond. Not yet. Tell them to hold their position." That is not easy. You want to defend yourself. You want to explain what they don't understand. You want to shout truth into rooms filled with lies. But hear me. Silence is not surrender. Silence is alignment. It is protection under divine order. The battlefield has shifted dimensions. This is no longer a war fought with words. It is a war of posture, and heaven is watching how you hold yourself under pressure. Do not let your emotions move you out of divine formation. There are things you are tempted to say, but they will cost you spiritual positioning. There are confrontations you want to have, but they are beneath your assignment. There are people you want to correct, but God has already removed His oil from their influence. Stay still. Don't chase clarity. Don't beg for answers. Heaven is already answering in silence, and that silence is loud in the Spirit. Michael said this clearly. Tell them heaven is posted around them. You are not alone. Though it feels like isolation, it is actually insulation. You are surrounded by angelic presence. The enemy is watching, but so are the hosts of heaven. Do not mistake loneliness for abandonment. God has pulled you back to preserve your purity. He has hidden you to protect the oil. You've been asking, why is no one reaching out? The answer is simple. God has put you in divine lockdown. He has placed a veil over your presence, a cover over your name, a seal over your destiny. They can't find you because God has hidden you. They can't read you because God has clouded your atmosphere. They don't understand your silence because they were never supposed to discern your strategy. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are being protected, hidden, held. And in this sacred pause, heaven is doing more than you can comprehend. This is not stagnation. It is sacred concealment. Just as Moses was hidden in the cleft of the rock, just as David was hidden in the caves before his crown, just as Jesus slipped away from the crowds to be alone with the Father, you too are being sheltered in silence. The war you're facing is not yours to fight directly. You are being taught how to win by surrendering, how to ascend by kneeling, how to progress by pausing. This is the wisdom of the Spirit. This is the mystery of divine protection. So what must you do in this time of stillness? Pray. Wait. Listen. Withdraw. Remove yourself from unnecessary conversations. Step back from draining relationships. Pull away from chaotic voices. Heaven will not compete with noise. Your next instruction will come in the whisper. And if you miss it, you'll move too soon, speak too loud, and step out of covering. Michael showed me that in this moment, your life is covered by a perimeter of angels, like flaming swords surrounding Eden. Nothing can cross that line unless God permits it. Not sickness, not betrayal, not sabotage, not curses. You are enclosed in glory, and your stillness is your agreement with heaven's protection. The moment you break formation, you expose yourself. But when you stay still, when you trust the silence, you stay surrounded. And so, as you breathe, as you kneel, as you listen, let these affirmations become your spiritual armor. I am held. Yes, you are. Even when you feel dropped. Even when others walked away. Even when you had no answers. God never let go. I am hidden. Not buried. Not erased. But hidden for timing, for protection, for preparation. What is hidden can't be attacked. What is hidden can't be mishandled. I am help. Heaven has not abandoned you. Help is already surrounding you. You may not see it, but you will feel the shift. Strength is coming. Reinforcements are already on assignment. So do not rush. Do not react. Do not retaliate. The safest place in this hour is in divine silence. Let them talk. Let them assume. Let them move without understanding. But you stay anchored. You stay obedient. Because those who remain still in the storm will rise first after it passes. God is not punishing you. He is positioning you. This protection feels like pruning. It feels like absence. But it is divine affection. A holy hand wrapped around your destiny, saying, not yet. They're not ready for what's about to be revealed. And neither are your enemies. They think you're weak because you haven't responded. But soon, they will see why heaven told you to be still. Type I am held and hidden in the comments if this message reached your soul. Blessing code 3333 now shields your name. You changed. And they know it. They may not say it to your face, but they feel it. They sense it in the silence. They feel it in your absence. They recognize it when you speak less, observe more, and move with a precision that rattles their comfort zones. You've changed. The version of you that once begged for answers no longer needs explanations. The version of you that once apologized for being too sensitive has grown into discernment sharpened by the Spirit. You've changed, and then change is your confirmation. They don't know you anymore because the old you didn't survive the fire. And that's what this has all been about, hasn't it? The fire, a shaking, a loss, a pruning. It wasn't punishment, it was transformation. You thought you were being broken, but you were being rebuilt. You thought you were being forgotten, but you were being formed. Heaven was burning away the excess, cutting away what couldn't carry the next mantle, stripping down everything familiar so that only the anointed you remained. The you that was called before the womb. The you that heaven trusted to carry weight others couldn't survive. This is your rising season. And no, it doesn't come with applause. It doesn't arrive with roses or recognition. It arrives quietly, fiercely, like dawn after the longest night. It comes in pieces, one revelation at a time, one boundary at a time, one act of obedience at a time. The fire didn't kill you, it crowned you. The rejection didn't destroy you, it refined you. The pain didn't poison you, it produced something holy in you. And now, whether you realize it or not. You are walking in authority. You no longer belong in rooms built on manipulation. You can't be bound by voices laced with control. You've tasted a different kind of strength. You've touched the hem of glory, and now mediocrity can't hold you. You are not broken. You are becoming. Becoming what they never expected. Becoming what hell tried to prevent. Becoming what heaven ordained long before the storm ever touched you. You've got wings now. You've got fire in your lungs and steel in your spirit. This isn't arrogance. This is alignment. This is what happens when the wilderness doesn't kill you. When the silence doesn't shut you down. When the warfare only increases your worship. This is what happens when you finally realize you were built for this. You weren't just meant to survive the storm. You were meant to lead others through it. And no, they don't recognize you anymore. But they're not supposed to. They're still trying to interact with your old identity. Still referencing the former version of you that God has already buried. You can't go back to that. You can't shrink to fit places you've outgrown spiritually. You can't silence your discernment to protect fragile egos. You've changed, and with the change comes new authority, new assignments, new access. Heaven is elevating you now. You can feel it. The atmosphere around you has shifted. Your discernment has increased. Your vision is clear. Even your prayers have changed. They're not desperate anymore. They are direct. They are not emotional. They are strategic. You're not just asking for peace. You're declaring divine order. You're not just asking to be seen. You're commanding your atmosphere with the confidence of someone who has been in the throne room. You're walking different. Talking different. Thinking different. That's not ego. That's encounter. That's not pride. That's proof. Because when you've been in the fire and walked out untouched, you don't come out the same. You come out with power. You come out with light in your eyes and divine revelation in your soul. You come out forged, not fabricated. You come out as a living altar, a walking testimony, a sign and wonder that what was meant to break you only built you. And now the world must adjust. The ones who underestimated you must reevaluate. The ones who thought you were done must now watch God do the unexpected through you. You are rising now, not quietly but divinely. Not to be seen by man but to be used by heaven. God is raising up the remnant, and you're in the number. He's lifting up the ones who stayed faithful when no one watched. The ones who didn't compromise. The ones who carried oil in secret, who bled in silence, who worshipped when it made no sense. You are the answer someone is praying for. You are the light someone is searching for. You are the key to a generational lock that hell has guarded for too long. This isn't just a personal transformation. It's a divine elevation. And no, not everyone will understand. Not everyone will clap. But that's okay. You don't need their permission. You already have heaven's approval. The throne has spoken. The fire has proven you. The battle has qualified you. And now, you walk. You rise. You. Not because you're perfect, but because you're appointed. Type "I was born for this" in the comments if your spirit bears witness. Blessing code 1010 is releasing favor over your next steps. At exactly 11:11 a.m. on June 17th, the atmosphere cracked open. I didn't hear thunder, but I felt the thunder in my bones. I didn't see lightning, but something lit up in my spirit that no earthly light could match. The realm between heaven and earth grew thin, and for a moment, it felt as though time itself had stopped breathing. And then came the presence. He stood with the authority of eternity and the fire of righteousness. Archangel Michael, heaven's warrior, God's messenger, the one dispatched when spiritual lines are crossed and destinies are ready to be revealed. He didn't speak in riddles. He didn't waste a single word. What he delivered pierced the atmosphere with such clarity. I knew instantly that this was not a dream, not a vision, not a fantasy, but a holy unveiling, a spiritual code that was now unlocked. And the revelation he brought was this: you are being prepared for a spiritual promotion, not a promotion in the eyes of men, not recognition in worldly places, not a title you can put on a resume or a room full of applause. No, this promotion is higher than rank and deeper than reputation. This is a shift in spiritual weight. Heaven is increasing your capacity. You are being entrusted with more territory in the spirit, more authority, more clarity, more revelation. You are being called out of survival and into spiritual stewardship. What you've carried in secret is about to be activated in public. What you endured in the dark is now producing fruit that will feed nations. Michael said, "Tell them this was never delay. It was divine orchestration. What looked like pause was actually preparation. What felt like denial was divine direction. Every closed door, it was heaven's hand rotting your feet. Every failed opportunity, it was protection wearing disappointment like a disguise. You asked why things took so long. You wept over timelines and cried out for answers. But God was not ignoring you. He was weaving you into a narrative bigger than your own understanding. He was synchronizing your life with the rhythm of the throne. And now, He has spoken. Heaven has whispered your name. Yes, your name. Not your nickname. Not your stage name. Not the version people tried to shape or distort. But the name heaven calls you. The name etched in eternal records. The name God spoke before the foundation of the world. That name hath been activated. That identity hath been summoned. You are no longer just moving through seasons. You are being positioned for spiritual rulership. You are being prepared to carry what others dropped, to speak what others wouldn't, to go where others hesitated. And with that preparation comes weight, but also glory. You were never being punished. You were being processed. You were never forgotten. You were being forged. Heaven has watched every silent battle, heard every unspoken groan, counted every time you obeyed in secret. God has seen the nights you lay in silence, wondering if He had passed you by. But now, He answers with clarity, I have not passed you by. I have been passing you through fire to purify you, passing you through silence to strengthen you, passing you through betrayal to isolate your oil, passing you through delay to sharpen your discernment. And now, the season of spiritual obscurity is coming to a close. The covering is lifting. The anointing is activating. The spiritual promotion is manifesting, not because you forced it, but because you surrendered to it. And understand this, spiritual promotion does not always look like elevation in man's eyes. It often comes with new responsibilities, heavier assignments, and a deeper call to consecration. You will be misunderstood. You will be set apart. But you will also walk in authority that shakes atmospheres. You will speak, and chains will break. You will pray, and rooms will shift. You will declare, and demonic systems will tremble. Not because you are loud, but because you are legitimate in the spirit. You are not stepping into popularity. You are stepping into power. Heaven has commissioned you, and now the earth must respond. People who once ignored you will be drawn to you, not by charisma, but by glory. Doors that were locked to you will now open, not because of your resume, but because of your obedience. What you lost will be returned in the form of wisdom. What you missed will be repaid in the form of acceleration. And what you endured will be answered by the weight of your mantle. This is your prophetic revelation. You are rising, and not in arrogance, not in performance, but in obedience, in surrender, in sacred alignment with heaven's timing. And though the enemy will still try to resist, it's too late now. The shift has already begun. The clock struck 11:11 on June 17th, and the heavens moved on your behalf. If this message resonates with your spirit, consider supporting our channel through a super thanks. Gifts of $20 go a long way in helping us continue releasing content that speaks life, strategy, and revelation into your journey. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Don't forget to subscribe for more prophetic insight, spirit-led teaching, and divine strategies released weekly. The next word may be the one that unlocks your next level. Type "I receive my promotion" in the comments if this word sealed something in you. Blessing code 888 is declaring open doors over your life. Now is the time. Not later. Not when it feels comfortable. Not when you have full understanding. Now, the heavens have spoken. The veil has been torn. The mystery has been revealed. You have been called. You have been chosen. And now you are being activated. Your destiny, once whispered in spiritual places, once buried beneath fear, once hidden behind delay, is now being summoned by the voice of the Lord Himself. You are no longer waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are no longer begging for purpose. You are purpose wrapped in flesh, walking into divine assignment. This is your moment to speak, to declare, Emu. This is the hour where your agreement with heaven becomes your acceleration. No more passive hope. No more silent frustration. Now, your voice must rise in alignment. You must say it. You must claim it. You must decree it in the face of doubt, fear, and intimidation. Your yes is not just an answer. It is a key that unlocks the door to everything the enemy tried to hide from you. Your yes is the password to the next realm. It tells the spirit that your mind has caught up with what your soul already knew. You were made for this. Michael said, "Tell them heaven is waiting for their yes, not their questions, not their logic, not their hesitation. Your obedience is the final puzzle piece. You've received the revelation. You've endured the trial. You felt the disruption. You've seen the signs. And now, it's time to respond. You must say yes when it doesn't make sense. You must say yes when the path isn't clear. You must say yes when your history tries to remind you of who you used to be. Because destiny doesn't consult your past. It only answers to your obedience. This isn't about performance. This isn't about being perfect. This is about alignment, daily obedience, consistent surrender, trusting God with steps you haven't taken yet, trusting Him to carry the weight of what He has placed in your hands. And you've been called. You've been pulled out. You've been set apart. You've been awakened by fire, and now you must walk like it. You've been praying for clarity, and heaven has given it. You've been asking for purpose, and Michael delivered it. You've wondered if you were qualified, but your survival is your qualification. Your ability to still believe, to still press, to still worship, that is evidence that the Spirit of God has been working through you all along. And now, The cloud is moving. The trumpet has sounded. The mantle is ready. And you must choose. Will you shrink or will you step? This is not a season for spiritual hesitation. It is a season for bold obedience. You don't need all the answers. You just need one response. Yes, Lord. Say it with trembling. Say it with tears. Say it with fear still present. But say it. Say yes to the calling. Yes to the unfamiliar. Yes to the discomfort that comes with growth. Yes to the weight of the oil on your life. Yes to the awkward moments of transition. Yes to walking away from the familiar. Yes to the voice of the Spirit above the noise of men. Yes to your destiny. You've been asking God to speak, but now He's asking you to speak. Speak life over what looks dead. Speak faith over what looks delayed. Speak destiny over the dry bones. Your voice carries resurrection. Your agreement carries creation. When you say yes, you come into covenant with heaven's plan. And every demonic word spoken against your rise begins to collapse. Every lie that was built to trap you begins to unravel. Every stronghold built to intimidate you begins to fall apart. Do not underestimate your yes. It will ripple through generations. It will echo into rooms you've never walked into. It will cancel demonic contracts placed on your bloodline. It will shift atmospheres, ignite favor, and initiate movement. What's been stuck will start to flow. What's been blocked will begin to open. Why? Because your voice carries the sound of surrender, and heaven moves where surrender is found. Walk boldly now. No more retreating. No more shrinking to make others comfortable. You've been silent long enough. You've played small long enough. You've let doubt take the microphone for too long. But no more. This is the activation. This is the moment your spirit has been crying out for. Not a feeling, but a function. Not hype, but heaven's order. Destiny is not passive, it is provoked. It is ignited by faith and carried by obedience. You must show it differently now. You must walk with the awareness that you carry something divine. When you enter rooms, atmospheres shift. When you pray, angels are released. When you speak, something breaks. You are not normal. You were never meant to blend in. You were sent to stand out, to stand apart, to stand anointed. And now the choice is yours. Say yes to the call. Say yes to the fire. Say yes to the divine identity that has been hovering over you, waiting to be received. The heavens have already declared it. Archangel Michael has already spoken it. Now all of creation waits for your response. Type yes. I take him ready in the comments if you feel this word activating something in you. Blessing code 911 is opening divine alignment in your life right now. There are moments in your life that are not witnessed by man, not captured on camera, not celebrated by crowds, but are known deeply in the realm of the spirit. Moments that pass in silence, yet shift everything. And whether you realize it or not, you are standing in one of those moments right now. A silent exchange is taking place. Not with words, not with noise, but with glory, with divine transaction, with holy fire moving between dimensions. What you lost in the physical is being recovered in the supernatural. What you wept over in silence is now being negotiated by angels. Michael stood in the thin veil between heaven and earth and spoke a line I will never forget. Tell them the exchange has already begun. Heaven is returning what was stolen. You don't have to chase them down. You don't have to argue your case. You don't have to fight for what's already yours. Because right now, even while you're still, even while you're quiet, even while you feel unsure, there is a transfer happening, a reversal, a restoration, a sacred exchange that only heaven could orchestrate. And though your hands may feel empty, your spirit is full. Though your natural sight may see nothing shifting, your spiritual inheritance is being reinstated. Your peace is coming back. Not the fragile kind, not the borrowed kind, but the kind that settles over your soul like a blanket of fire, a shield in the spirit, a force that no voice of accusation can pierce. Heaven is restoring it. Because they took your name, didn't they? They twisted it. They misrepresented you. They dragged your image into rooms where your spirit never agreed to go. But God says, I am restoring the integrity of your identity. I'm cleansing your name in the spirit. I'm reestablishing your presence. You will no longer carry the residue of what was done to you. You will not wear the scent of warfare. You will not walk into new places with old chains still clinking behind you. Why? Because the silent exchange has already begun. Heaven is trading your shame for oil, your sorrow for strategy, your silence for a sound that will shake atmospheres. And this exchange wasn't made in public, it was sealed in secret. Even now, there are angels moving, shifting, negotiating, and securing what belongs to you. Robes are being traded. New garments for old seasons. You are shedding the tattered cloak of rejection and being clothed in righteousness, favor, dignity. In the spirit realm, you've already changed garments. Heaven no longer sees you as they once did. You are not the broken one. You are not the abandoned one. You are the appointed one. Heaven has given you new colors, warrior's colors, prophetic colors, royal colors. And not only angels, but the ancestors are rising. The intercessors in your bloodline, the ones who prayed but never saw, the ones who fasted but never reached the promise. They are standing now in witness. Heaven has allowed them to see the fulfillment in you. They cried out for generational reversal, and God has answered through you. They stood in the gap when it cost them everything, and now you are the fruit of their obedience. You are the living evidence that their warfare was not in vain. Every cry you never voiced, heaven heard it. Every ache that had no language, heaven recorded it. And in the archives of glory, your name has been written in ink that does not fade. There are scrolls being opened now with assignments, mantles, and blueprints, and your name is on them. These are not earthly documents. These are eternal decrees, and your obedience has authorized them to be released. You are stepping into pre-written glory. You are moving into a prepared place. And this was not just about promotion. It was about divine repossession. The enemy thought he had legal access. He thought he owned your future. But the blood has spoken. The covenant has activated. The sacrifice has covered. And now heaven is reaching into dark places, pulling back what belongs to you. And the most powerful part of this moment, it happened in silence. No applause. No announcement. Just a divine shift. The enemy didn't even hear it until it was too late. Because some breakthroughs don't come with a sound, they come with a seal. And you, beloved, have been sealed. Sealed in grace. Sealed in authority. Sealed in divine timing. Sealed in eternal promise. This is the power of the silent exchange. So don't worry if no one celebrates you. Don't panic if no one validates the shift. They didn't see it. They weren't supposed to. But you felt it, didn't you? Deep down, your spirit has known something sacred was shifting. You've been waking up lighter, breathing deeper, sensing change. It wasn't your imagination. It was revelation moving through your being. You have been marked by the Spirit, branded by fire, and nothing can reverse it now. You are no longer who you were, not just in feeling but in function. You've traded dust for destiny, confusion for calling, waiting for water. And though it happened in silence, the sound of your rising is about to echo in the earth. They won't see where it came from, but they'll know heaven has moved on your behalf. Type "I claim this exchange" in the comments if this moment is yours. Blessing Code 2020 is restoring what was lost, double for your trouble. Justice is not coming. It has already been set into motion. Even now, the courts of heaven are active, the scales are tipping, and what has been unjustly withheld from you is being returned, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. What they did in secret is being answered in the open. What was plotted in darkness is being judged in light. This is not vengeance by man's hand. This is not revenge by your own doing. This is divine justice, the kind that cannot be manipulated, negotiated, or silenced. The kind that comes only when God himself stands and says, "Enough." At exactly 11:11 a.m. on June 17th, Michael didn't just bring a message, he brought an edict. A heavenly decree from the courts of the Most High. The time for delay is over. The time for injustice is over. Heaven is reversing every verdict that was wrongly stamped over your life. Every false word, every demonic contract, every weapon formed in secret, nullified by the blood, overturned by divine authority. What they did will return multiplied. That is what he said. Not in wrath, not with malice, but with divine certainty. Because when heaven vindicates, it does not just restore, it reverses, it exalts, it magnifies the power of God through those who were counted out. You were not overlooked. You were not forsaken. God was watching. He saw who walked away when you needed covering. He saw who kept silent when their voice could have defended you. He saw the betrayal, the mockery, the hidden sabotage. And now the books have been opened. The evidence laid bare before the judge of all creation. You will not have to prove your case. Heaven has already ruled in your favor. And here's what you must understand. Divine justice looks like public elevation after private warfare. The ones who plotted your fall will witness your rise. The ones who whispered against you will hear your name shouted in rooms they'll never enter. The ones who hoped you would fail will have to sit and watch God promote you. Because when God restores, he does it loud. When God exalts, he does it in the presence of your enemies. Not for spite, but for glory. So that all will know, it was the hand of the Lord that did this. This is the season of divine reversal, where dishonor turns to distinction, where shame is exchanged for favor, where what was stolen is returned sevenfold. You will see reversal in relationships. Those who devalued you will recognize the weight of what they mishandled. Reversal in resources. The finances that dried up are about to flow again, not by hustle, but by heaven's release. Reversal in voice. Where you were silenced, you will now be heard. Where you were hidden, you will now be highlighted. God is tipping the balance. And don't think for one moment this is about ego. This is about restoration of righteousness. God is a just judge. He cannot be mocked. What have been planted in tears is being harvested in power. What has been endured in pain is being rewarded in glory. You didn't lose, you were set up. Every delay, every betrayal, every ounce of resistance, it has positioned you for this holy reversal. Your season is not just changing, your story is flipping. The tomb they thought would bury you has become the womb of your next dimension. The grave they dug for your infos has become the garden of your growth. untook what was meant to cry you and used it to crown you. And now your elevation will not come with apology. It will come with authority. You will walk different, speak different, move different, because justice has released something in you that pain could never destroy, spiritual dominion. So lift your head, not in pride but in holy boldness. You're not being arrogant, you're carrying evidence. You are living proof that God defends His own, that He keeps record of the hidden tears, that He responds to injustice not just with correction, but with compensation. Every sleepless night accounted for, every slanderous word addressed, every lost opportunity replaced with divine access. You will lack for nothing, because when heaven brings justice, it brings overflow. And what about those who cursed you? What about those who celebrated your pain? Pray for them. Bless them. Because your rise is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving that God is faithful. Let them see. Let them watch. Let them wonder. But do not look back. Your season of reversal isn't for them, it's for you. Your children will eat from the table that God prepares in this season. Your name will be cleansed and carried with honor. Your voice will speak in places that your enemies never imagined you'd survive long enough to reach. Justice has come. Heaven has ruled. And now you rise. If this message confirms what God has been whispering to your soul, consider blessing this channel with a super thanks. Your generous gift of $10 goes directly into producing more spirit-led content just like this, to empower, equip, and elevate others in their divine walk. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Make sure to subscribe and stay connected for prophetic instruction, spiritual strategies, and real-time revelations. Your journey isn't finished. Heaven is just beginning to reveal it. Type "My justice has come" in the comments if this word aligns with your spirit. Blessing code 555 is establishing reversal, restitution, and restoration in your name. At exactly 11:11 a.m. on June 17th, the heavens broke their silence, not for drama, but for divine disclosure. What was revealed on that sacred hour was not meant to soothe emotions, but to awaken destinies. Michael did not come to merely deliver a message. He came to mark a soul. Your soul. This wasn't a vision you imagined. This wasn't emotional hype. It was a divine activation. In that holy moment, heaven interrupted earth, and time itself was rewritten. A truth no one expected was shown, a truth sealed for the spiritually sensitive. And now that you've received it, you are no longer who you were. Heaven has confirmed it. Your life has been reordered. Your steps are now guided by prophetic appointment, not emotional impulse. You are chosen. Heaven has handpicked you for an assignment that stretches beyond your history. Your name was spoken in the heavenly courts before you were ever called by anyone on earth. You are equipped, not by credentials, not by accolades, but by every battle you survived in silence, every tear you cried without witness, every prayer you prayed when no one else believed. And you are covered, completely. The blood speaks for you. The angels war for you. The Spirit guides you. Now, in this final moment, I release a blessing over your life. Rise, not with timidity, but with heavenly boldness. Let the ashes of your last season fall to the ground as your feet begin to move into new territory. Reign, not with ego, but with divine precision. You are not being elevated to be celebrated, but to legislate spiritually. Where your voice goes, clarity will follow. Where your hands move, breakthrough will be birthed. And reclaim every inch of ground the enemy stole. Reclaim your name, your peace, your purpose. This is your inheritance. This is your moment. You are sealed, not for delay but for deployment. You are seen, not by man alone, but by the eye of God who has never once looked away. And you are sent, not empty-handed, but with oil, with authority, and with the word of the Lord in your mouth. To go. Move forward with fire in your bones and truth in your belly. Heaven has shifted things in your favor. You are sealed, seen, and sent. Now rise. Let us close in bold declaration. Father, we thank you for divine timing, divine visitation, and divine commissioning. Let this word go forth and bear fruit. Let every soul that hears it feel the fire of confirmation. We declare it is done, and sealed in the name above every name, Jesus Christ, Yeshua, the risen King. Amen. Type I am rising in the comments if you receive this final blessing. Blessing code 000 is now activated over your next season.